You are expecting we are expecting the finance minister in reading the budget to stipulate these things. So one on top of the agenda for you and for me, and of course for a lot of people, is to reduce expenditure, cut it down on government expenditure, at least even taking some ministries off, and all the things they had said after that as a century. I'm talking the Peduasi launch. You know, that's what you were expecting first of all.
They told us that what they discussed at Peduasi was going to accumulate into about 34% reduction in the grant and goods and services, I mean, in terms of government spending. We've never seen that. He has to give us the proper report on that event, the effect of the policies that they have announced. You see, if we are talking about cutting on the expenditure, not just expenditure, they should reduce the waste. Look, National Cathedral, $400 million, convert it to the current foreign exchange rate, about 5.8 billion, right? What is our deficit? 37 to 38 billion Ghana cedis. We might have reduced it to about 32 billion, 32 point something billion. Look at the oil and gas sector. The finance minister told the committee that they opened an account and they deposited how much? 100 million. Convert it and see. That will have reduced the deficit. Let's forget about that. That same oil sector, according to Dr. Dufour, a former finance minister, according to his analysis, last year we lost about $3 billion in the oil and gas sector through tax incentives and other and then more practices. This year, according to the estimate that I've gotten, looking at the comparison that I've done, we've lost about 3.5 billion, equivalent to about 50 billion Ghana cedis. Now, $3.5 billion, equivalent to about 50 billion Ghana cedis. Haven't we closed the deficit and at the edge of recording surplus?
So even the wastage, if we reduce wastage
wastage, there will not be any deficit. According to the Auditor General's report, we've lost 50 billion. So the wastage, if we can reduce corruption, consumption, expenditure, and then increase compliance, we keep missing revenue target. And the little that we get, we are supposed to give it to the second item in the growth equation, which is investment spending. You invest in strategic sectors of the economy. You look at agriculture, you look at the most consumed commodities, the commodities on the high demand. You see, growth, there are some people who, the classical economists will tell you to focus on production. But if you focus on production and the demand is not there, are you going to get any revenue from what you have produced?
But obviously, production, in what exactly will be the question? Because there's demand for chicken, frozen chicken. There's demand for rice. There's demand for sugar.
That is why the Minister of Trade and Industry, when they were making the arrangement for the factories, they should have gone to the free zones. They should have gone to the Port and Harbors Authority, and then come out with a list of
You don't think
items.
They know?
They know. They know. So
otherwise, this sugar factory, Commander, will not be sitting there idle.
And then we'll be importing sugar.
Absolutely. Well, we have some few minutes to wrap up. Let's see if, what our viewers think about what we have been discussing. Of course, what the Finance Minister would come and say. 0302 90607. You can call us. Keep it short because we have some few minutes to go. The idea of getting to... Do you think that this government is just buying some time to leave? Because when we talk about what was mentioned in the... So let's talk about the last one here, value creation. We've not seen the onset of it that much, value creation. What I see this government do more is to brand the country. I give that to them, 100%. They branded the country well. You know, people outside, every time, at every opportunity they get, everything is happening well here. But value creation within is what we have not seen. And so a lot of people have said we are just
branding that does not lead to value creation.
okay. So,
So is it a nice expose that we are people taking bribe that we are selling the country
Right.
so we are not selling anything. We are disgracing ourselves. Our president was all over the place in private jet, and we got a minority in parliament exposing all this and coming out with the fact amount of money he spent, renting expensive jet when indeed Ghana was in crisis, spending $400 million on a needless cathedral. So what are you selling? You are spending $400 million to promote a foreign culture,
I see.
to support a foreign system
I see.
against our own traditional system that we should have used. Like when the boys went to Qatar,
Right.
they were there in the smoke.
Small. We'll come to that pretty soon. Alaji is on the line. Alaji, can you hear me?
Yeah, Koku.
Hi.
I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, get it to your panelists over there.
Indeed.
Koku, what you say is true. Go to Asia and see, especially China. Today, China with America, they are rocking shoulders. Have you ever seen the Chinese president read something in English? Have you ever seen it before? Go to every Qatar, the opening ceremony. Did you hear the language that the Sheikh speak? He speaks the language of his people, the language that the people understand. Here, our professors, our doctors of books, all of them, Koku, put them together. They cannot manufacture matches, common matches. But if it comes in terms of speaking good English, Koku, they are number one. That's all. Koku, that's our problem.
I see.
We are learning some people's dialect,
Yeah.
and then we leave our own.
What are you expecting of the finance minister's presentation shortly before we let you
Koku,
go?
there's nothing. The actually, the next year want it to be more than this year. Koku, next year, the dollar will pass 20 cedi. I'm telling you, you market. I'm telling you, Koku, you market. Anything that I tell you, Koku,
Yeah.
I know it. You market, Koku. Next year, the dollar will pass 20 Ghana. The actually will be too much next year than this year. Because the budget that is coming to it today, Koku, every taxes have been increased. Every taxes have been increased.
I see.
So what shows that next year will be better than this year?
All right.
Next year will be worse than this year, Koku. Just touch your bet well, Koku.
I see.
Then I know that you are not yet married. Koku?
I'm married though, Alaji.
Eh?
Eh?
Then you not tell me I don't know, Koku. Okay, all of us are feeling it.
We are feeling it too.
Okay. Now I understand you. Now I understand you. Now I understand you. We are the same category. Now I understand you.
Very well.
Yes. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bless you too. Thank you very much, Alaji.